Hello guys, we are now in I would say a corona crisis, and if you are living a place where your power grid is fairly unstable, it's maybe a good idea to just have some lights and such in your vicinity. Of course, where I live, I have never ever experienced a power grid outage in my 24 years. So I don't really need, I feel, a headlamp like this, but it's good to have, even though, of course, I have a lot of headlamps. I just buy them to test and see what's inside of them for some weird reasons. But the good thing I thought about this one is the Energizer headlamp, and you can pick it up at a lot of local stores, like food stores and such. They're often like stocked along with your regular batteries, and in this case Energizer. So if you see anybody selling Energizer batteries and they have a little bit of bigger stock with different products, you will maybe find this headlamp I've seen. And we can see also on the packaging there's a lot of languages. But designed to last 15 years, Vision HD Focus Plus. This is like the top model, 350 lumens, which is fairly high. That you can even go out jogging in the woods with this. That 350 lumens is enough for that. You don't get a lot of image on the packaging, but we see that Vision HD Focus is that you can adjust yourself between these two different modes or use them together. You have one spot reflector and two like more flood reflectors. 315 lumens, 6 hours of runtime. I hope that is on the high setting there, and digital focus, and it remembers the setting I will show you later, and also rain resistant. And otherwise on the packaging there's just a lot of languages, because I suppose these are sold in different countries, but there's no like more specs or information and such. And you get 3 batteries and the headlamp itself. The user interface UI is fairly simple. You have this button here, red light. Why is red light good? Yeah, it's good for night vision, because you have 2 sets of like photoresistor or cells or neurons in your eyes that and the rods, I believe, on the sides are like your peripheral vision, which is like black and white or something. But yeah, the night vision rods or something can't really pick up the red light, so, or the red power waves or such. So red lights doesn't affect your night vision. I don't remember exactly, but good to have some red lights. So if you're in a tight space and don't want to affect your night vision if you're out, you have the red one. And you can of course go from red to off, so you don't have to switch between the full powers, because then your night vision is affected. Remember, it takes like 30 minutes to adjust to full night vision and 10 seconds to go back, so yeah. And this is the 350 lumen setting, and then this is a lower setting. I'm not sure how bright this is, but it's certainly not as bright. And the other button here is the power function, or the remembering function. You hold in the button and then you switch to like full spot and then full flood and somewhere in between, and it will like blink fast and it will remember the setting. Somewhat useful, but I would just run it on full, I believe, or red maybe. The good thing about this for somebody is that you can just use AAA batteries, and in this case you get the free with it. And I would use my IKEA Lada rechargeable batteries, because they are one of the cheapest and best kind of batteries that you can get that are rechargeable. And it's sealed off as well, really thin, like rubber gasket there. and nice sturdy switch and adjustable, of course, and just a simple headband. So it's fairly light, 90 grams. You don't really feel it too much on your head. It feels fairly comfortable, but you get some kind of weight sticking out. So maybe if you're running, you will like have a slight jiggle with the light bouncing up and down. It's because you have weight like distance out from your head. So it's like a torque arm or something with the center of gravity a little bit further out, so it will always push down. But this is like a problem with a lot of headlamps, but this is fairly light, so yeah, it works with running as well, and you won't have too much shakes. But tomorrow or something I will test another headlamp which is much better for running, but this here works perfectly fine for jogging. Slight wiggle, bouncing effect, but otherwise working on your car, indoors, yeah, very nice. It got like a TIR reflector on the front on the main spot lens here, total internal reflector, and it also uses normal reflectors around it. I'm pretty sure that is just to make it look a little bit more professional, because the internal reflector here is just like plastic and it takes off all of the light without bouncing it into any reflectors, and they have like a 95% optical efficiency, and there seems to be a fairly good like cone dome shape LED in there, fairly efficient I would believe, because the board itself is very thin and you don't really have a lot of cooling on the backside. So I will test the heat efficiency also later to see if the lumens are affected. I think they said that, yeah, I'm not sure if how they have tested the lumens of this, if it's gonna go weak or if it gets too hot, but and on the sides here there's simple reflectors with a frosted lens for more of a flood effect. Yeah, I don't really see what kind of diodes or such what it is in there, but it gives out a fairly nice and warm light spot with even like flow out and then more float on the side. So very nice setup. I'm gonna test it here, like see maybe 2-3 minutes, see if it goes down very much, but we see it was around 1000 at the start, and we will go back and see. So it have now been running for 2 minutes, and I'm not sure, but this lux meter is very like jumping up and down, and seems like at least 10% of the, now almost 15% of the light, or 15% to 10% weaker. So we'll see it's jumping very much up and down. I'm not sure if that is because of the driver. You know, some kinds lights have these fluctuating drivers, like it really turns on the LED on and off really fast. You can't really see it with your eyes. Maybe you can see. Yeah, I'm not sure if you then will have a flicker effect with the camera, but some LEDs turn on, like the turn on and off it, the LEDs to like say not, yeah, if you have a LED switched off and on like 50% of the time, it will produce less heat. So, and then you can have more brightness, but then it will have a slight flicker, but it's so slight so you won't really see it with your eyes. So I'm not sure if that's the case here, but I can't see it with the video on my phone at least. Yes, testing just with my flashlight like that. It was actually the headlamp itself which is fluctuating a lot with the brightness. I'm not sure why, and I can't see it with my eyes, but using like the flashlight on my phone, it's totally stable. So yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I can't really see it with my eyes. So this hallway here is around 7 meters on the camera. It's really how I see it in terms of brightness. This is the high setting. You get very nice beam length, and also fairly good width to the light as well. This is the lower setting, still works very fine, and we can't see any of the like the flicker that we talked about. So this is a confined room, maybe 4 or 5 meters to the wall over there. I'm now in the high setting. We can see that very nice control with light to the end there, and also very good width to the light, maybe 3 or 4 meters in width in here. And it's now in the high 350 lumen setting. This is the low, it's much less powerful, but we still see all the way down there, of course. And also I have some sight to the sides as well. Switching to the red. Switching to the red, see it somewhat like you see on the camera, like looking at stuff close by. Very nice if I'm sitting in a car or something like this. So if you like where to use this, if you work like a police officer or in the Marines, or yeah, as a truck driver, sure, it will be very nice in your cab. For the long distance with red light, yeah, I can make out some details like you can see on the camera, but it's more like for seeing at short distances without ruining your night vision. Yeah, so here we see the performance maybe more like this. Out in the woods is very weird, being all alone out in a dark forest with just a headlamp, in my opinion. Especially walking out from like a neighborhood, just feels weird walking into the forest at this time, but it gives out a fair amount of light, I would say. This is low. The low is just enough for walking, and high, yeah, I feel it's fairly spot, not too wide, but I think it will be nice even jogging with this. You get some fair bit of light. The only thing is that if using a headlamp, I will maybe like using a caps or something like this, because at least with this one, or you get a lot of like light bouncing into your eyes, which makes it harder to see at this. As you can see, when I'm filming from straight down, there's like a lot of light hitting my face, which makes it makes me feel a little bit more of a tunnel vision. I mostly see where the bright spots are then, but when I do this with like a caps, I see much better, and I don't really have that kind of tunnel vision. But otherwise, very nice. Only problem is because of that, I'm not sure. Long time since I used a headlamp, so I'm not sure if this is a problem for all. But you don't really think of this, but when it's very dark outside and you are in the middle of nowhere walking, it can be a little bit annoying having the light like this. But I think this is one of the problems with having such small reflectors, and also trying to have some wide light, that you get some bouncing effect close by too.